Hey, what is up guys, this is Tone here, and today I'm going to be doing a quick, hopefully, but maybe a little bit longer tutorial and walkthrough video. I've done quite a few of these tutorial type videos on my channel if you want to check them out. But today we're doing one on an anime banner. So this is going to be for Twitter, but the same tutorial can be applied for YouTube and any other banner sort of thing that you want to make. So feel free to follow along, pause the video anytime you want. Come back to it. I've seen people like timestamp in the comments below like certain points that they stopped the video on and they resume the next day. So if you want to do that, and feel free, and then feel free to check out any other tutorial videos I have on my channel. So yeah, so we're just gonna get right into it. So start off for Twitter, you make it 3000 by 1000 pixels, and I'm just gonna make the background white. And it should make it pretty quick here. Hopefully I don't have to stop partway through this tutorial, but I'm installing some updates right now. So what I've already done is I've found a few anime pictures that I want to use for this that should make it a bit quicker to get started. So I'm going to do File, Place Embedded. I'm going to find the folder, so anime tutorial, and I'm going to be doing a One Piece header because I've been watching One Piece quite a bit and I like it. So then we're just going to take these. Oh, I can't do that. And then just click on it and place them. So we're just placing them in, and this just brings them in to the canvas. Sorry if my computer's a little loud. I don't know why it's so loud right now. I'm trying to install some driver updates, but I didn't think it was going to be going wild like this. Better. It's odd. See if there's an issue like that. Okay. So we got an issue with one of our pictures. Real quick, I'll show you just how to find good pictures. Grab this real quick. Alright, so I'm going to look up the Going Merry HQ pictures. So the Going Merry is the ship. It's the name of the ship from One Piece. So, and then HQ is high quality. So then I just want to find one where the ship is like mostly visible here. Something like that. That looks pretty good, except I have that big old logo on it. So that looks just about like what I have, so that should work. I'm gonna save this. Do .png because it's a PNG, and X out of there. And then now we can try and place this. PNG. All right, we're good. So now that I have these, I'm just gonna arrange them real quick. I'm gonna save it. TUT. Just for tutorial, and then I'm going to move these over here, just so I can kind of start plotting out where I want stuff to be. So I planned this a little bit, but not much. I just want kind of the center to be for text, and then the sides to be for the images. So as you can see, it works pretty well like that. So I'm going to move him all the way over here, and then we've got this guy over here. So then I'm going to see how well this works, but I'm going to do select subject on once I've clicked the layer that I want. And it did a very, very good job, looks like. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click this little button down here, which is the mask button, and it will mask out the background. So as you can see now, we've just got the illustration there, and it's not perfect, but it's really close. So I'd say it's good enough for me. That's for sure. So then now I'm going to do this one. So select subject. See how it does on this. So this one's pretty close. Not perfect, but we don't need perfect. So then now I can just go in here, the lasso tool, and I can get rid of those. So I'm just going in, and a beautiful part of making stuff for yourself well, I guess I'm assuming it's for yourself, is you don't have to be perfect. And for others, you don't have to either, but most people feel like an obligation to make it perfect. And then while you're doing this, you can hold Alt to switch from plus and minus. My watch is telling me I burned so many calories. Okay. So then I'm just pressing Alt, and then I'm just using the mouse to click these. Pretty simple stuff. Just grabbing this out of here. Let me know if you guys have watched One Piece. I've been liking it quite a bit. They're losing me a little bit. Kind of some weird stuff going on right now, but I'm not gonna let it get to me yet, because I can't let 1 or 2 bad episodes get in the way of the whole series. Alright, so that looks pretty good. So then I'm gonna mask this one as well. And then see, the beautiful thing about masking is if I click on this, so if I take the brush out and say you got rid of something you didn't want, if you erased it with the like brush tool, that's just gone. So it's gone for good. You can't get it back. But since I masked on this and it took away this part, I can take out my brush, go to white, and I can bring this right back. So that's the cool part about masking that you can't do on when you just paint bucket something out or something like that. So I think I'm gonna make this a little bit bigger, because I think that's a watermark right there, and I don't want to mess around with filling it in. So I'm just gonna do that, and we're good. So now we're already starting to get like a really clean look to this, and it's fairly quick. This has been a pretty quick tutorial so far. So then what I'm going to do, I'm going to move this over a little bit, and then I'm going to move this over as well. I'm trying to make some room for the text. So for a name, I think I'm going to put this right here. And then I'm going to test this out. I haven't used this tool very much, but I want to see how well it works. So first, I see we have a black line here, and I think that might mess with the tool. So I'm going to take this rectangular selection tool, and I'm going to try and edit out that black line. Take the erase, and no, I'm not going to mask this time because I'm not worried about keeping anything in here. Make sure my opacity is up all the way up here. I'm sorry if this is a bit fast, but feel free to put the video in like half speed. My voice will just get a little deeper, so I'm not complaining. And then feel free to like rewatch parts. I know it's biased. I want you to rewatch it, so yeah, feel free. Make sure to share this. Share, comment if you want to. Support the video. So then what I'm going to take here now, I'm going to take the rectangular tool. I'm going to select this big thing, and I'm going to select part of this, and then I'm going to right click, and then I'm going to see content aware fill. Okay, let's see how well this does. Auto sample layers. Okay, so that looks pretty good. I'm gonna see if I sample more of this. So that looked really good actually. I'm surprised. So I'm gonna sample all the way to the flag there and do content aware fill. I'm gonna see how much it takes of that cloud. Ooh, okay, so it takes more. Wait, it's still loading. Yeah, okay. So I'm gonna want to do less of this area, I guess. So maybe like this much. Content aware fill. And I'm still experimenting too. So I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna click apply. And okay. So that just filled in the back there. Made a new layer. So now I've kind of got this clean side there, clean background. This is a really handy tool. So I'm going to do the same on the other side. Make sure I'm not clicking on the layer that I just content aware filled, because it'd be blank over there. So I'm going to do that on the other side. And then you could just do this with a brush too, but it's a lot more work. And depending on your mouse skills, it might not be very easy. Alright, so now we've got this really good looking composition here. Where we've got Luffy on the left, Luffy on the right, the ship in the background, and this nice blue fill in the area here. So I'm actually going to turn up my brightness a little bit on my computer, just so I get these colors right. Alright, so now I'm going to go in with my brush. And actually, before I do that, I'm going to go to Chrome again, grab a tab here, and I'm going to look up anime clouds. And then hopefully we can get some clean stuff like this. Kind of want something that has quite a few clouds, but not like crazy. Let's see here. Getting a lot of stuff I'm not really looking for. Might have to settle for some normal clouds. So something like this might actually look pretty good. I'm just going to copy this in. I know you're not supposed to, but gotta do what you gotta do. I'm going to put those in group, so now we have the whole back layer in a group. I'm just going to name it backing. Just make it blue real quick to just keep it sorted, you know. Alright, so then now above this, I'm going to Control V. Well, I guess that didn't paste, or it didn't copy. Copy image, Control V. Wow, it's not letting me do it. So it might have like a blocker on the website, so I'm just going to open image in a new tab. Try it again. If it doesn't, then I'll just save the image. Okay, it let me. So now I've got this big cloud. I'm going to Control T. Make this thing a lot larger. And I'm going to actually, I think, flip this horizontally. Alright. And then I'm going to do a screen. We'll see which one looks best. So, overlay actually looks pretty good. If it wasn't so wild on the boat there. I think I'm going to go with the overlay. Make sure this is all on there. Alright. And then I'm going to take my, start a mask here. I'm going to take my brush, take the black color, and then I'm going to mask out the ship here. So I'm going to do 100% opacity to start, and then I'll go down to like a 30 or 25 just so I'm not too harsh on the clouds around it. Alright, so now we've got a sky throughout the entire thing, not just by the boat. So that makes it look a lot more completed and doesn't look like chopped up. Alright, so then now that I got that, I'm going to, okay, I'm sorry if I'm squinting, my eyes are getting a little tired of screens. Just make sure you're saving as well. So now I'm going to go behind these Luffy characters. I'm going to take my white brush tool. I'm going to paint. So I'm just putting like a glow on them. And then also a glow at the bottom here a little bit. Just to make it stand out, you know, give it that cool effect. It's pretty popular. Alright, so then I'm going to put this as an overlay, I think. And then let's try and put that under the cloud too. Didn't change too much, but it looks pretty good. Alright, saving that. And then I'm going to make a new layer, new adjustment layer, brightness contrast. And then I'm going to actually turn the brightness down a little bit on this background. And probably put contrast up a little bit. Alright, so now you can see the before and after. So we kind of brought back the ship a little bit there. Alright, save. And then I'm going to group these two Luffys together. Luffy. Make it red. Save. I'm saving a lot, but because my PC is downloading this thing, I'm kind of scared for my computer to just give out on me. So I'm going to just add some white brush on both the characters to kind of make the scene look a little bit more real, you know, give them the shadows that the clouds would give them and such. And I'm going to put that as an overlay. And then I'm going to put a new layer under it. create a new layer under it. I'm going to take my black. I think I'm actually go with like a really dark blue, just to give it that more blue feel, like we're actually in the ocean. I'm going to put a shadow more near us, so it kind of looks like, you know, it's glowing behind them. I'm going to put that as a probably a soft light. And I think that overlay might be a bit much, so I'm going to turn it down some. Alright, so now we've got a pretty good looking header so far. And it's, as you can see, it's really simple. You know, we've been going 15 minutes. I mean, to have something this clean in 15 minutes, I think is pretty good. So now I'm going to make my text here. So I'll make a new layer, new group, put that layer in the group, call this text. And then I'll probably link this this PSD on my website if you want it. So if you want to play with it or put your own name in here, feel free. So now I'm going to click and then put name. Actually, let's put my name. AT1E. Alright. So now I'm going to make this big. And then I'm going to choose a font that's kind of fun. Something that would kind of match the style. So this is kind of neat. So then I'm going to make this red so it clashes with that blue. Probably go with like a bright, maybe a medium red from his jacket. Alright. And then actually, oh man, I should have thought about this earlier. I kind of want to move Luffy over a little bit. Just to free up that text space, but I think we'll be able to make it work. So then I'm going to take this and I'm going to go to the move tool, Control A to select the whole canvas, and then I'm going to center it up by clicking these two buttons. So that puts it directly in the center of the canvas there. So now our text is centered up. So now what I'm going to do is I think I will duplicate this down. So now I have a copy of it, make sure it's in the group. I'm going to put a layer above it and mask it by holding Alt and placing it onto the layer. And then I'm going to grab this yellow from him. Actually, I might go with the skin tone. Alright, so, and then I'm going to rasterize this. Rasterize type. So I right clicked on the layer, rasterize it, Control T to grab this. And then I'm going to Shift click, hold it down. So we're making a smaller version of it back there. I think I made it too small. And I think I'm gonna have it drop to the side here, maybe. Something like that down there. Alright, and then let's merge this. So now we have this little drop shadow thing. So what I'm gonna do, this isn't the best way to do it, but it's the quickest way. And it'll get the job done, you know. It's not perfect, you know. If we wanted to do this perfect, we'd be in Adobe Illustrator probably. But this is a YouTube tutorial style. So I'm going to take my brush, I'm going to put it on hard round, opacity 100%. And I'm just going to be clicking, holding shift, and clicking down. And I'm filling it in. So this will give me a 3D effect on the letters, which will make it look pretty cool. Alright, so then we're just going to do this for every letter here. And then one thing I'd note, to try not to miss any corners or any lines. It makes it look kind of weird. So like, say I just did this, and then I did this, but then now we have this hole here. So it breaks the whole 3D effect if you have one corner or one hole that just isn't filled in. So that's a big thing, I'd say. So I'm just going to try and zip through all these quick. If you want to, feel free to skip forward like a minute or two in the video. Not a minute or two, probably won't take that long, but just going to do these quick. And it's a pretty, like, as you can see, I mean, it's a pretty quick process. And then, see, I can't see the thing here, but I'm just going to kind of follow the same angle as the other end of the one. Since something like this is kind of fishy, So I'm going to grab this, and I don't think I should be able to see this line here, so I'm just going to guess. I'm going to turn down the font here, so now we can see where this stuff is actually going to. So the 1 is done, the N is now being shaded, so take this here, and click this here. So this is kind of how, like, if you want to, you can make it more precise by just turning off that, turning down the opacity on the font there. So I'm just going to fill this in quick, and I think this isn't supposed to be seen, if I'm right, so it might look a little wonky, but it's the way it is. So I'm going to fill all this into, and then this has to go to here, and this has to go to here. Alright, and then this goes over here. So now we can just start filling in these big gaps of stuff, and then also don't fill in things that aren't supposed to be filled into. That really makes it look odd as well. Just let me go there. And then last part, this is kind of a touchy one. I have to go with super small so I don't fill in the other side. Alright, so then it looks a little botched, but then once you turn up the font opacity, it's like, oh, looks pretty clean now. So now we have this cool little 3D looking thing. Okay. Font failed, what does that mean? Did it still save? It's like the font failed. What? I am baffled. That'd be very annoying. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna, since we finished this, I'm just gonna merge this group, which will make it a single layer. So then hopefully it's not a font anymore. So yeah, let me save. So that's a really weird thing. Photoshop, there's so many weird things like that. It's so annoying. It's like, oh, this happened. So that's happened like twice already during this one 22-minute video. So that just kind of shows you. So then what I'm going to do now is grab the black, and I'm going to, oh, not the hard brush, go back to the soft brush. I'm going to create a new layer above the text, and then alt click to what is it called, mask it under there. And then I'm just going to put a simple shadow, really simple, but it just helps create that depth. Soft light, and then I'm going to make one more. Doesn't really matter which, like if it's the highlight or the shadow below or above. I'm going to do one more like that, and then I'm going to put it on the sides too. Click overlay, turn that down. So now we have a simple but kind of clean looking text there. It stands out a lot more than just having your just having the letters there, because now we have this backing. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a new layer below the text, and I'm going to go to Google again and look up something called a sunburst. So then, as you can see, we have all these cool things here. So I'm gonna grab this one, Control right click, copy, place it below this, and I'm gonna center it on the font, on the center of the font. And then we're actually gonna take this, take my bucket tool here, put it on clear. I'm going to, oh, no, I'm not. So I thought I could do that cleaner, but I'm just going to go to screen. So layer screen as the layer mode. And then I'm going to turn this down quite a bit. Alright, put it at like 60. I'm going to take my brush, and I'm just going to soften up all the edges on this. So as you can see, we're turning it down quite a bit. And we go in here, just gonna boom, 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 just like that. So this is just gonna be a light overlay thing. We don't want it to be like obnoxious. Alright, I'm going to put one below it, put a layer below it, and then I'm going to put a burst around this. Alright, so then this is going to be the first layer. It's going to be a overlay, I think. Turn it down a bit. One below that. This will be bright. So this is just going to be normal. Alright. And then we're going to do, I think, one more below that one. This one's going to be quite big. And it will be like really low opacity. Alright, so then that's way too bright, obviously. But we're going to put that on overlay, I think. Turn it down a bit. And then I think I'm going to take the Sunburst and move it below all these. And then we're going to turn that, take my eraser brush. We're going to make this a lot less visible. Because you don't want the Sunburst to be like distracting from the actual light there. So we're going to turn it down quite a bit. So now you can see it's just a few rays, you know. You don't want the whole thing. You don't want the whole thing to be covered in these lines, because then it looks a little silly. Alright. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to look up a dot pattern. Alright. And this looks kind of sick. I think this will look good. So I'm going to open that in a new tab. Right click, copy image. And then let's group all this together for the text. So I made a big group. Make it red. Call it text. Alright, so sadly you guys won't be able to edit the name on this because of my font issue. But you'll be able to just put your own name in there. Like as your own text layer. So I'm going to Control V, place that there. Oh, actually I think I'm going to lock this, so click the lock there. And then so now we can move this dot pattern. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put this layer mode as, I think multiply is what we're going to want. Let me see. Yeah, probably multiply. So multiply, and then I'm going to turn it down. So we have these dots. So I'm going to put these dots. Let's see. I don't know if I actually want these dots. Nope. It's not clean. So it's not clean. Don't use it. So I'm gonna look up. Well, I think like dust. I think that's what I want. Dust. Yes, dust. Something like this. So open a new tab. So okay. So it's a stock photo. There we go. Something like this. So I'll place it. Control T. Get bigger. So then I can do some cool stuff with this. Computer's being a little bit slow. So we're gonna put that on a screen as well, I think. Yeah. So now we have this this cool effect here. I'm gonna take my brush and make it a little smaller. Get rid of some of this glowiness. Duplicate this over here. I'm going to twist it. So we're just trying to make pretty much some cool effects, you know. It's nothing fancy, nothing perfect. Then I'm going to put one by the text behind, looping them in the backing layer. And then this one looks just look a little bit too big, too strong. So I'm going to turn them down a little bit. Alright, so now we have this. So this is looking alright. It's not that good. It's alright, you know. I think I'm going to turn down this shadow. Alright, so now we have that. Alright, so this is a pretty easy, pretty good starter banner here. So what's going to take it a little bit to the next level is going to be grab all these, group them up, put it as, just call it header or something, duplicate the group, merge the group, crop tool. Just put it as something random. Original ratio, enter. So then now it should be cropped to the size of the header. And we're going to do filter, camera raw filter. So this is where you can go in and you can really doctor all of the stuff here. Okay, so it didn't crop it. Let's get out of here quick. So let's clear ratio. Just pull it up there. Go to original ratio. And then press enter. It should crop it. So I've gone crazy. Oh, it's on the artboard. I don't know. Okay. Guess we're not cropping it right now. Filter, camera raw filter. I don't know why they changed this stuff. It doesn't make sense to me. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit. And then I'm going to adjust the colors here a little bit. So I want this, I think, to be more yellow. And probably more pink than green. I think more green. Exposure. So this is where I'll back out a little bit. So you kind of want to look at how big it would be. How you'd actually look at it. So it's not going to be huge. I think exposure up is the way to go. Contrast up, down. I think we want more contrast. Highlights. Not much there. So this, you're just playing with it. You're just trying to find out what works, what looks good. I think I like this shadows down look. Kind of just gives it that more of a rough feel. Yeah, I think I like that. White. I think we're gonna have the whites up. Black. Have black up. So texture, this is where you can really mess with stuff. So I think we're gonna have our texture. I'll have texture up. Clarity. I have clarity up too. DAs. So I think, yeah, we'll have dehaze pretty close to what it was. Vibrance. So this is pretty fun. So if I wanted like a super playful, colorful look, I'd turn vibrance up all the way. If I want like a more hardcore, like rustic look or something like that, I turn it down a little bit. So I think I'm gonna go with less vibrance, maybe a little bit more saturation. So I'm gonna try actually more vibrance, less saturation. So I think what I want is less vibrance and a little more saturation. And then you can also go in here and go to color mixing. You can choose, do I want my reds more pink, more orange? I want my orange more this or more that. So you can really get quite detailed. So it's pretty fun playing around with the colors, finding out what you actually want. Because you might not think, oh, do I want my yellow to be more green yellow or more orange yellow? It's like me, I want it definitely more orange yellow. That's just me. So you should definitely play with that. Find out what you're feeling, what you're not. I'm feeling something like that. And then let's go to color grading. So then you can adjust midtones of each color here. So let's say I want to adjust blue, how dark and how bright it is. So this is where you can really fine tune the design. So it's like before, it looked pretty average, but now we're getting to the point where it's like, oh, it actually looks pretty good. So then you can adjust how it appears. So if I want it to be like that, I can. If I want it to be out. So then the only issue with going in is you're going to have to recrop it. So if I want it to go in, which I kind of like that idea, I'm going to have to recrop the header inside the artboard. I keep looking over here thinking you guys are over there, but I'm going to have to recrop the header inside there. But that's something you could do pretty easily. Effects, grain. This is one you have to be really careful with because you can make it look terrible super quickly. But it adds a cool little like rustic effect. So I think I'm going to throw a little grain on there for some texture. And then we should be good to go. So this is before and after. So as you can see, it's like a magic wand just on top of the design there. So now I'm going to Control T. And let's see if I can crop this dang thing. Crop. And enter. I don't know, man. Can't explain. So I'm just going to Control T, grab this thing. Oh, it looks like it actually did crop for me. Good stuff. Or it might have. Nope. Okay. So I'm just going to grab it and hold Shift so it doesn't get all weird. And then we're just going to recenter this up. And you can kind of spitball it a little bit, but you don't want to be too wild with it. I think we did a little too big here. Oh jeez, my Photoshop's lagging, so sorry about that. Okay, so turn this down. Okay. I think we are about good. Alright, so I think that is the design there. So I'm going to Control S to save. And then I'm going to click File, Export, Save for Web. And I'm going to save it as a ping 24. And what the heck happened here? 1004. It's supposed to be 1000. So I don't know what happened there. So it should be good. I'm just checking the edges there a little bit. Looks like we have a little bit of gray on the side, but that's fine. So I'm gonna save it. And get back here. And save. Alright, and then I'm going to put it on the screen for you guys. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you did watch this whole thing, thank you. Thank you. And I hope you guys have a good day, and I hope you learned something. And I'll probably put this PSD on my website if you guys ask for it. So I probably won't bother with it right away, but comment below if you want it, and I'll probably upload it. So